Namaste. Welcome, fellow yogis, subscribers. Welcome to the 45-minute practice or so. I just went for a beautiful walk outside and it's windy and all the snow is pretty much melted here. So it inspired me just to get really into that spring mood of just purging and cleansing some of the old energies. And this week when I was teaching in studio, I realized that there's a lot of pelvic energy that is still stifled, holding on to the grip of paradigms that we were taught that need to be composted because we're literally living in a time of awareness. May you be the consciousness, the subconsciousness that you choose to be. So what I mean by that is, like, say you have a dream and you want to be this. Well, then subconsciously you have to know that too. So purging any of the old stories is really important. You don't have to go way back into your history. All you need to do is literally pay attention to what it is that you wish to accomplish. What are your struggles? They don't need to be a struggle. What's happening is you don't have that subconscious thought of, that's what I want. So teaching yourself, literally by meditation, movement, and breathing, think what it is, the outer realm of what it is that you would like to have come into your space. So what is that? So creating that mindset. I am healthy, I am free to be me, I am wealthy, I am supported, I am loved. So whatever it is, a law of attraction, you've got to think it unconsciously, subconsciously, and consciously. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that means the pelvis, letting go of some of the stuff and really being kind in your pelvis. So we're going to begin right off the hop in a laying down position. So I invite everyone with their blanket, their bolster, have your blocks, a strap, and an extra blanket for your dog. Oh, come over here, Tyson. I hope you guys know Tyson, right? He looks pretty hairy right now. Here, come sit here. There you go. So let's lay down onto the mat, get cozy. I have my windows open so you can hear all of my chimes around my property. I have like 5. I'm going to use my bolster underneath my knee creases. Yet, I'm going to bring my feet together in Supta Baddha Konasana, and some of you may be able to place the bolster at your feet, as you can see in the bird's eye view, or if that's too much of an opening for your inner thighs, you could take the bolster to your knee creases and bring the soles of your feet together on the floor. Again, if that poses too much for you, then walk your feet as wide as your mat, let your knees fall in. This is the coming home to the self, coming home to the mind's eye, and really setting the intention consciously. What is it that you wish to be in this world? And then release the unconscious or subconscious paradigm that no longer serves you, and start to train your subconscious self that, yes, I really feel it in my heart. Yes, I really want this. Yes, for the greater good, I am of service. Therefore, this is something that will make me happy in order to be in this world fully. That's a lot of information, isn't it? Just take a deep breath in. How about that? Let that breath go. You can reach your arms overhead if that feels good to you. Make sure your neck is aligned, that your chin is tucked in towards the notch of your throat. Your neck is neutral. Closing your eyes is a great option so that you can go into the mind's eye, into that place where it is divine connection to the pineal gland, where you turn off the outside world and allow the door to open. What are you thinking? And literally what you think is outside of you as well. Like what you think is a frequency, a vibe, an energy outside of you. Yeah, I know, this is deep stuff for a day on the mat, isn't it? Okay, so allowing yourself to connect with yourself. Noticing your foot position, what works for you today. Breathing the fullness of the breath from the tip of the nose to the roof of your mouth, to the back of the throat, down the esophagus, to the fullness of your lungs, into the diaphragm. Oh, it's pretty windy out there. Think of the wind or even water, the sound of water, cleansing and purging and releasing what it once was into the new. So allow your prana to move through the body with ease, following the breath. Getting settled into your body. and allowing yourself to really use your mind's eye, your imagination, and your thoughts to create a space around you that is loving. Like I'm surrounding myself with loving thoughts of being creative and being inspired to create and being supported. I feel I am truly supported. So that's the first thought. I trust that I'm supported by divine. And I'm letting go with each exhalation any old paradigms that stifle me, like I'm not financially, secure, I'm not financially deserving to have what it is that I want in order to share my gifts. That's like BS. That's the old story. That's the paradigm or the program I learned as a child. I'm letting that one go. Instead, my new paradigm, my new story, my new energy is that I am open to receive all the financial support that I need in order to continue to be of service to all humankind. I receive. I am open to receive. I feel it in my heart. Yes. So just taking the time to really settle into your body, into your mind's eye, into the energy around you. What are your thoughts? What energy is around you? Fantastic. Sometimes it takes a little longer, sometimes you get it right away, and sometimes you just lost, and that's okay. So allow yourself to hold yourself with love, whoever you may feel you are right now. And then I invite all of us to take a really big cleansing breath in and throwing it out. Keep the focus on the energy that you're wanting to create for yourself. And then I invite you to reach your arms up towards the sky and then cross your arms over your chest and give yourself a hug. Literally give yourself a hug. If your legs are in Supta Baddha Konasana, bend your knees, feet to the floor, and start to lift the neck inflection, the head inflection, and curl yourself up enough that you can feel your abdominals for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, release the shoulders and the head, reach the arms up, open them like angel's wings, and then exhale and give yourself another hug here. Just make sure you switched your arms the non-habitual way. Grab the back of your shoulder blades to your best ability, flex your neck, chin in towards the notch of your throat. Start to curl up so you feel it in your abdominals for 5. You can close your eyes for 4, squeeze in as much as you can in your abs for 3, for 2, and then release the shoulders and the head. Draw the knees in towards your chest, and I'd like to begin in a laying down Om. So chanting the sound of Om into the universe and literally being open to receive the fruits of that Om, which is love, frequency, vibrational energy. So I like to hold my knees sometimes and just chant. And I do this often when I'm walking, when I'm cleaning my house, when I'm just doing work around my home. So I'm inviting everyone to chant the sound of Om. Take a deep breath in. Beautiful. Then lengthening your legs up towards the sky, shake them out. And then taking your right thigh over your left thigh and hug your knees into your chest. You'll feel a lot of the gluteal flesh. There's the piriformis. Oh my goodness, there's so much. The minimus, maximus, medius gluteal flesh. Some of you can hold your shins and bring your ankles more in towards your chest, hugging those knees in, or just holding your knees. Some of you could grab the outer edges of your flexed feet, draw your feet up away from your bum, and then bending your knees, bending your elbows, take your feet out to the outer edges of the room. That's quite extreme, so you don't have to go right into this at the beginning. We could do this at the end as well. These are the muscles we are tapping into today. So remember, in yoga, there is no stretching. It is literally eccentrically, concentrically moving your muscles. The stretch is psychological. You might have to stretch yourself to give yourself patience. Good, shake out your legs towards the sky. And then when you're ready, cross the left thigh over the right thigh, bend your knees into your chest, recheck your neck, make sure it's nice and long. Do what you can do to bring your knees into your chest. I've seen this in class where a lot of students can barely get their hands to their knees. That's okay, you're not broken, you don't need to be fixed. Just hold your knees and draw them in as much as your gluteal flesh can take that hug. Again, shins, ankles, dorsiflex feet for those that can go a little further. Doesn't make you inferior or superior. It just makes your range of motion, flexibility, and where you're at in your body different. That's all. That's all. 2 more breaths, feeling what you're feeling, keeping your neck nice and long. And then when you're ready to shake up your legs towards the sky, do so, and then reach your arms overhead and just do your best to peel your bum up off the floor. Again, I've watched this in class. A lot of students have difficulty lifting the bum up off the floor through the coccyx because of such maybe contractions of the abdominals and that range of motion. Maybe there's boobies and belly. You can hold the back of your legs, resist the back of your legs to peel your bum up, bending your elbows and bringing your shins closer to your face. And that'll give you a whole back extension stretch or lengthening of the muscles. So feeling that, and then very gently release your right foot to the floor, and you can move your bolster to the right. Interlace your fingers to the back of the left leg and extend that left leg, feeling it and rotating your left ankle. As you rotate your left ankle, spread your toes. Fantastic. Then bend that left knee out to the left and take your left ankle flexed to your right thigh. Hover the right foot up off the mat. So make sure your left foot is flexed, dorsiflexed on your right thigh to your best ability. Again, if you're struggling, no need to struggle. Go to the consciousness of yourself, the subconsciousness, and give yourself permission to be where you're at, where you need to be at. Some of you can just barely hold the knee and the foot. That's awesome, drawing in. Some of you could thread your left hand and hug in the right thigh closer to your chest by interlacing your fingers around the shin. Regardless, you're doing you. Feeling what you're feeling in, again, the piriformis, the gluteal flesh, the hamstrings, getting right into those hips, creating balance during the paradigm shift. Balance while we switch our stories and become conscious, and then subconsciously implement that new story or that paradigm. Oh yeah, you're talking about deep stuff today. Good. And then when you're ready, let's extend the legs up towards the sky, shake them out. Bend the left knee foot to the floor, hug the right knee into your chest. Take a moment just to extend that right leg to your fullest ability, whichever that may mean for you. Bent knees, awesome. I love my hips. And then externally rotate your right knee out to the right, dorsiflex your right foot, ankle onto the left thigh. Hover the left foot up off the floor. Some of you are there, that's enough for you, stay there. Those who want to go a little further, you can interlace your fingers towards the shin or the knee crease. Decide what you need to do for you today, even holding your foot in your knee and drawing it closer towards your chest. No pushing or shoving the muscles. They will only open up and listen to open up when they feel safe. So be kind to your body. Ahimsa. Everybody say ahimsa. A-H-I-M-S-A. Ahimsa. Non-harming. 2 more breaths. Make sure the muse, the major common denominator of your practice today, is the belly breathing. When you're ready to extend those legs up towards the sky, we're going to take our hands to the back of the legs again. Peel the bum up off the floor so the head and shoulders stay down. So it fully elongates the back of your body and contracts the front of your body. Fantastic. Good. Then on your next exhalation, release your feet to the mat. Open your arms up nice and wide. Make sure your feet are as wide as your mat. Your arms are below your shoulders. Start to windshield wipe your legs from side to side, paying attention to the breath. The in-breath brings the knees to center. The exhalation brings your knees to a side. Pay attention to the breath. Allow yourself to feel the beauty of your vessel. Feel what you're feeling. Move with the breath and become that really kind, loving human being to the self. And in that, you will start to change your thoughts as well about yourself. Like, I am worthy of financial gain. I am worthy of support from the universe to build what it is that I wish to build. And just so you guys know out there, I'm building 3 beautiful, self-efficient, small homes on a big property on a lake, so that it's an international, say, retreat, vacation, lovers getaway for those who wish to be pampered. My husband and I will be pampering everybody, whether it be with yoga, massage, and great food internationally. So we're inviting everyone from around the world, and this is happening as I manifest it. So moving your body around with those knees windshield wiping, maybe taking your arms up overhead. Remember, the in-breath takes the knees to center, the exhalation takes the knees to the side. From here, once your knees move to the right, take your right foot to the left thigh, pause there and see if you can just let your hips sink, but your knees sink as well. So draw the inner left hip down. If you need that bolster because it's a bit much on your inner thigh, slide the bolster underneath your right hip. Close your eyes, let your arms be like seaweed overhead, and breathe your breath. This is where we're going to slow down. Each time we eccentrically, concentrically contract our muscles, the old paradigm was that we had to push and shove acrobatically and run and jump up and down. Now what's showing in the muscular systems and the brain and the neural system is that no, that's harming the body. We need to slow down and listen to the muscles and give them permission to soften by us softening ourselves and not pushing and shoving. I hope that makes sense to you. A couple more breaths here. Yeah, there you go. Good. And then on your next in and out breath, windshield wipe your knees back up to center, releasing that bolster out of the way. Reshape your butt. Jiggle it around. And then exhale your knees to the left. Once you do that, take your left foot to your right thigh. Oh my goodness, that one's a little bit too intense for me. So I'm going to take my bolster right underneath my left hip. You must learn, okay, while you're in your practice, how to use props. I can teach you how many movements and props to use, but in the end, if your props don't feel comfortable, then they're not in the right spot for you. You have to choose to learn. It's a self practice. So figure out where that bolster needs to be or not. Make sure you're not hurting yourself by hanging your thighs. You want to be able to soften in your inner right thigh. Got it? 3 more breaths, arms overhead perhaps, or at your side. I can feel the wind howling. Can you hear the wind? Is that beautiful? Good. Let's stay here a couple more breaths. You can see the prayer flags in my background moving around like crazy. I love spring. On your next in and out breath, bring your knees back up to center. Reassess the bum and then hug both knees into your chest. Then open your knees up. I'm just going to move this bolster to the right. Grab your heels with your arms between your knees and grab them so that you can bring them towards your face and bring your balls of your feet to touch. So let your knees fall as widely open as you can. Your forearms are going to press into your inner thighs as you cup your heels and draw them towards your face, but press your knees away. Rock from hip to hip. You'll feel inner thigh action for sure. Chin tucked in. Yeah, just like that. Good. Fantastic. And then let's open up the feet, bend the knees more towards your armpits, press the tailbone down, take your hands to the outer edges of your feet, ankles, or inner knee creases. You do you. Whatever way you can get to your happy baby, and rock from hip to hip, and then play with your shins, so bending and extending in your knees. So this really widens your inner thigh muscles. It extends them to their fullest eccentric movement of the muscle. All those beautiful magnus longus brevis panatus gratialis, those are beautiful muscles. So playfully opening up, feeling the lengthening of them. See if you can keep your tailbone down, shoulders down, and head down. Play as much as you want or be static. 4 more breaths. Good. Oh, I could do this all day long and lay down. But I also would love for you to just navigate in the way that you feel that you need to navigate today. So if you need to take a break, please take a break. On your next in and out breath, let's draw the knees together. Cross the ankles, hold the feet, shins, or knees Tuck your forehead in and start to vertically roll as many times as you can, keeping the tone of the belly in. Ooh, my back got a little flat during the week. And then come all the way up into your seat. My hips. So I'm going to turn to face you. This being your right, that being your left. I'm mirroring you, sitting up nice and tall. The hips are the practice today, yet it's the belly breathing that is number one. So as you breathe fully into the diaphragm, meaning the fullness of your lungs, let the belly bellow. And as you do that, I would love to get us all to twist out some of the junk that we've been holding on to. Hopefully you didn't eat before this practice. So twisting towards your right thigh, keeping both sitting bones down. Circumvent your left arm around and see if you can hold that right thigh. Straighten your arm out, so that means your elbow straightens. Excuse me. As you anchor, twist. Whenever I do a twist, I do burp. So please excuse me as I burp. That's good, stuff is coming out. Hopefully not your breakfast or lunch. Twisting, broadening in the collarbone, opening up that chest. So it really is a work. It's a lot of work in the abdomen, the belly. So we're wringing out that diaphragm. Oh my goodness, there we go. Turn your face towards the left knee. You could take your right hand and fuse it to the floor or the bolster or into your inner left thigh for those that have that range of motion. Twist. Good. Face towards the left knee. Nod your head yes. Good. Inhale, come center. Switch out your shins. Equal opportunity for your hips. Then playfully take your twist towards the left. Right hand to left knee. Move in a way that you are able to get right into the abdomen, the belly. I just like saying abdomen, abdominals, belly, gut. So as you twist, dance it around, and then once you feel settled into it with the broadening of your chest, turn your face towards the right knee and nod your head yes to surrendering. I found in the past year that a lot of people have neck issues, including myself. It's voicing ourselves. We've been masked for so long. Well, just to be honest with you, I don't wear a mask. Ever. And yes, I get into public places. I just use my kindness. It's called manifestation, and politically it is illegal for people to be told that they have to mask. You could stand in your sovereignty, and it's up to you. I'm not judging. 2 more breaths. Oh my goodness, there we go. And when you're ready to in-breath, come center. Reshuffle your butt cheeks, and then let's get this other party started, part B. So playing with the pelvis, bending the left knee up, take your right knee out in front. I'm gonna take my bum off my bolster, I don't need it. Take the left leg over to the right thigh. Make sure you're able to sit that left butt cheek down and hold your knee and sit up tall. Feel that energy. Again, piriformis, butt stuff. We did this in the last episode. Wield your right arm around until you find a place where you can hug the left knee in towards your sternum and give yourself the twist that you deserve in the abdomen, the belly. And again, twisting out and getting into the lower back from the abdomen into the pelvis, into the hips. I like to plug my fingertips into the floor. Some of you don't have that range of motion yet, so you can open up and take your left foot out to the left, right knee out to the right, and create some space for the breasts, the boobies and the belly, and find your twist here. Make sure you're putting 100% of yourself into it, because what's the point if you're not in it fully? So wherever your twist is, you're twisting. Move your jaw around, move your head around with gratitude. Oh, I feel that one big time. Lovely. And then on your next in and out breath, let's switch sides. So take your left heel towards your right thigh. I'm coming onto my mat here. Right foot all the way to the outside of the left thigh. Squeeze around until you feel that both feet are secure. The 4 points of your right foot must be down through the big ball mound, as well as the knifed outer edge of your left foot on the right. Hug your knee into your chest no matter where this right foot is. Got it? Pay attention to your knees and find your twist, circumventing, twisting through the abdomen and finding out what works for you. So as you're twisting, slow down. What are you letting go of? What's the story? My story since I was a little girl was the loss of money, of finances, and never really having enough money to do things. And I know that paradigm really resonates with a lot of you. Sorry, I'm fixing my hair. So for me, at the age of almost 53, that I finally realized I'm worthy and the abundance is there because I'm able to support you. I'm able to share my gifts to you through that gift of receiving the abundance of the financial support. So what are you doing with your finances? So may we all be of service. I am the you, the other you. We are here to service each other. Big breath in, letting go, breath out when you're ready to unwind, undo. And then from here, I'm going to face the right side of the mat, and I'm going to invite everyone to take their bolster out in front of them. And we're going to play in what I call as pigeon. So taking your left leg first over the bolster, take your fingertips on either side of that left foot, wiggle your right leg straight back. Some of you, that right leg won't go straight back, I understand. Let's just do our best to rock first in the hips. Breathe your breath. Okay, and then heel toe, your left foot to the right hand, and then start to wield that left knee out to the left and land your pubis onto the bolster. Now, some of you, as you can see in the bird's eye view, the right knee is out to the right. I've watched this in class. Let it go there if that's where it needs to go. And if you can lengthen that right leg straight back, then do that. This is the pigeon prep. So squeeze your inner thighs in of each other. I'm going to move that blanket that's at my foot. Plantar flex the back right foot if it's directly behind you, or dorsiflex it if it's at the side. If you're here, don't struggle. Instead, play back and forth in your hips, back and forth in your hips. If you're here, again, you're playing in your hips, waddling in your hips, back and forth, back and forth. I'm going to take it a little further for those that are forward. If you can come down onto your right form and take your left hand onto your left knee, and then open up your chest so you'll feel all kinds of stuff perhaps. Lengthen your neck and move your right form in a way that you can lift your chest and open your collarbone. So again, if you're up here and that's enough for you, that's good, that's perfect. Maybe you take your yoga blocks and place your fingertips on your blocks and play with moving that right hip forward. You do you. Choose not to get flaccid in this. This is not a time to give up on yourself. I've watched a lot of students because they're not able to do the full pose, maybe the lead teacher's teaching or other students are doing. They just sit there and they go like a shlumpasana. That's an observation, not a judgment. They're just like, oh, I can't do it. What story are you playing when you're doing that? Give yourself permission to be 100% exactly where you need to be. Meet your needs. Stop playing victim. You know what? That's a little bit of a rant. I sometimes get really tired of being a lead teacher because oftentimes I'm not prepared for the victim stories, and I have to really exhale and, you know, be very compassionate while people are moving through their victim stories. Like, oh, I had a car accident 100 years ago and I've never really taken care of my pelvis. Like, where do we choose to stop loving ourselves is the question, right? But we don't need to go there. That was just me ranting. Love yourself now. Can you find that twist and feel your hips? Be kind. Don't go too far that you can't breathe and smile at the same time. Got it? Move that left arm around if you're twisting, but move it around so that your collarbone opens. Yeah, good. Now let's take the forearms forward, but come up onto your finger pads and reach out first, then take your forearms and then extend through the crown of the head. Bend in your right knee if that's available to you. And remember, if you're up here, that's exactly where you're meant to be. Continue not to play victim, but to smile and breathe and go, oh, this is exactly where I'm meant to be. This is exactly where I'm meant to be. So those that are sprawled forward, no inferior, superior beings here. We're all equals. Maybe you're able to lay your forms, but extend through the crown of the head and feel the breath in your body. Oh, yeah. Bending and squeezing your inner right thigh in towards the midline. Big breath in, letting go, breath out. Yeah. And you can play with that back right leg. Whew. Good stuff. Lengthen through the neck, 3 more breaths, close your eyes, remind yourself we're not victims, we're creators, we're loving ourselves. Good. And then when you're ready, if you haven't already picked yourself up, we're going to lean to the left hip and swing your right leg all the way forward, and you're on your bolster. Cross the right leg out in front of you, reassess your bum and just swirl around, swirl, and swirl. Great, because now you're gonna pick up that left leg, take it and tuck it back behind the bolster. And if you're not using a bolster today, that's great. You do you. Again, this is yoga for recovery. I needed to do that. Talking and teaching. Slide out forward, extending your left leg straight back if it'll go, pigeon prep, or that left knee stays out and you're up as high as you can be in order to play in your hips. If you're able to take yourself forward, hug your inner left thigh in towards the midline, so you're working this left leg to the midline, not splayed out to the side. So bringing it in, waddle in your hips, and then this time we're going to take that left forearm down across the midline, right hand onto your right knee, and open up. So you're opening up that chest of yours, but at the same time you're feeling that right piriformis gluteal flesh. So you're opening up, broadening in the collarbone, moving your neck around, singing yourself nice little songs of love. I love me, I'm awesome. 4 more breaths. It could be static, it doesn't have to be movement. So again, no matter where you are, breathing into the sensations of your pelvis. No forcing. Feel it. Good. Drishte. On your next in and out breath, if you're able to splay your fingers out way out in front of you, squeeze in and reassess your inner thighs. Land your forearms down, but keep the neck nice and long. I see a lot of people in class, they just dump. There's so much in their hips, they just dump their upper thoracic spine. There is no flaccid part of your being in the yoga practice. All parts of your body are hugging into the midline. So from my fingers, my forearms and my elbows, I'm drawing into the hips and I'm lifting my heart and extending my neck for 5. You could bend and extend that left knee as mindfully as your hips can handle it. Dorsiflex, plantar flex, spreading your toes, keeping your neck neutral, maybe holding it static. Oh yeah, I can feel that one today. Good, and then from there, let's walk our hands back. If you're not already up, bend the left knee. If it's not already bent out, bring it forward, sit on your bolster, say hello. Sitting on your bolster with your feet wide apart, so you see the bird's eye view wide apart, like a squat. Some of you might need to block up your bum because your bum's not sitting on the bolster. That's how tight your hips are, and that's okay. That's an observation, not a judgment. Remember, really be mature and responsible and disciplined. And what you hear, if there's a paradigm or a trigger, remember, I'm not intending to harm you. I'm here to help you. So therefore, some things may feel like a trigger, so just compost it. Learn to discipline yourself with love and kindness. I get triggered every day if someone, says something. It's just like an old paradigm of mine. I'm like, I'm learning. So no one ever put me on a pedestal. So from this position, we're going to start to work the feet closer towards our bum, towards our bolster. And then take your hands in front of you between your thighs and then lift your heels and then bounce your bum around a little bit mindfully. Then reassess your hands as wide as your yoga mat. Keep your heels lifted and then start to lift your hips up. Then land your heels, soften your knees and let your head hang. Grab the back of your thighs, let your head tuck in, look in towards your pubis. Oh, I just recognized I have a hole in my pants. Oh well. That's where we usually get holes in the pants, right in the perineum. Let your head hang, sway your hips around. Da, da, da. Feeling all of those juicy muscles in your booty flesh and your hamstrings. And then start to slide your hands up your shins to your outer knees and then start to lift your heart until your hands are on your thighs. Stick your bum back, straighten your arms and lift your heart. Good, and then move your bum further back and then sweep your arms forward like you're holding soup bowls. Waddle in those hips, you can feel your heels dig in into the ground, and then exhale your hands to your heart center and come all the way up to standing. Gosh. Scooch that bolster out to the side, standing on your mat. Can't help it, I've got the messiest hair today. Oh well, it was the wind. Shake it off. So I'm going to face forward because this is what we're going to do. We're going to take our feet now wider apart, turn your toes outwardly. Turn them outwardly and then soften and let your hips sink. And then some of these muscles will start to go their full eccentric lengthening and they might be tired. So take your hands to your thighs, dip your heart forward, shrug your shoulders, and then let's just dance on the 4 points of our feet. But get your neck shrugged in, shoulders to your ears, and then roll the left shoulder forward as you press into your inner thighs. Inhale, center. Roll the right shoulder towards the left knee. So you're literally giving yourself this in-breath center, exhale to a side. In-breath center, exhale to a side. Lift and spread your toes. You can even close your eyes. One more. And then in breath, come to center, straighten your legs out, keep your toes still turned out, waddle in your hips a little bit, and then bend your knees back out to the side, reach your arms out and up and bend your elbows. Good, so we're playing with the breath in this position. The pelvis is getting some work here. So as we exhale, we'll bend elbows towards knees, knees towards elbows, and then in breath, reach it all the way up. Shine it out, lift and spread your toes. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, reach it out. Go at your own pace. Doesn't matter how many you do. Just feel where you're at. Sink as deep as you can. Oh. About 3 more, or 2 or 5, whatever you feel like you can do. Oh, that was the opposite breath, but it doesn't matter. You could even change the breath up. Feels different. Good. And then heel toe your feet back to center. Shake out those hips of yours. Oh my goodness, my hips. This is where you may need to have a block. I'm just gonna, 2 blocks. I'm facing forward and it's gonna look like this, but I will turn sideways. Standing through the 4 points of both feet, lifting your left heel, externally rotate left ankle to left thigh, and then sinking back into chair pose, okay? So sideways profile. You've got your 2 blocks. Very pigeon practice today. Standing in your mountain, standing through the right foot, lift the left heel, pick up that left knee, externally rotate that left knee, take your left ankle to your right thigh, move your bum back in space. Here's another thing too. If you happen to have a chair handy, some of you may need this, and it's okay to have a chair handy, because what if, none of those. So picking up the left leg, externally rotating, and you want to move your bum back in space. So what you're thinking about, it almost fell over there, is that you're going to sit back. Some of you may find that chair and literally sit yourself back, and that is your practice as you hinge forward. Keeping your right foot fully rooted, perpendicular to the front of your mat. So no sickling in your ankle. For those that are like, I really want to practice this without a chair, you're sinking your hips back and you can open up your arms, palms up like you're holding soup. Some of you can touch down on your blocks and literally wrap your left foot around your right tricep. Did you hear that? Wrap your left foot around your right tricep. Sink your hips further back so you're not bending your right knee in front of your toes. So see how my knee is not surpassing my toes? I'm moving my bum back towards the chair. Lifting up through the heart, extending the neck nice and long, so I'm looking towards the floor. So where you may be in this standing pigeon pose is your practice. Come in and out of it a couple of times if you need to define the right appropriate position for you. Some of you, again, need to be here today, and that's perfect. You're still getting the left IT band, the piriformis, and all the gluteal flesh. For 5 more breaths, play with it. Wherever you are in this, like all of these really resonate with me today. Remember, this is yoga for recovery. Moving back, your boobies are over the left shin if you are touching the floor on blocks or no blocks. Neck is neutral. For another breath or 2, because then the next thing is standing through the right foot and starting to lift yourself up and release that left foot any way that you can and shake it out. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad we're doing this today. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Okay, other side, standing through the 4 points of the left foot. Picking up that right heel, right knee, find your balance. And some days the balance is off, trust me. I've worked so much inner thighs this past week that maybe this is not the most appropriate practice for me today, but yet, no buts, it resonates. So, flexing your right foot, so it's dorsiflexio active, my right foot is, and the standing left foot is very active. When you move your bum back in space, your hands can be on your ankle and your knee. You can move your bum back, you can touch down as you move your bum back. Use those blocks, wrap, see this? Wrap the right foot around your left tricep. Secure it. Extend through the crown of the head so your neck is neutral. You may move your blocks around. And again, for those who wish to sit in the chair, still getting that dorsiflexion, forward fold, so your neck is neutral and so is your thoracic spine. So it's not this, it's this. Forward folding. Oh my goodness. Can I ever feel that right hip today? So once you figure out what it is that you wish to do for today, settle into it and feel the breath and really ignite from fingertips to toe tips all the way into the core of your pelvis. Keep your neck neutral, keep your breath nice and full for 5. For 4, you can even close your eyes. You can swing your hips around for 3. 2. Play around a little bit longer if you need be, because we did hold the other side a little bit longer as I was explaining it. And then eventually standing strong and releasing that standing, that left or right leg, and shake it out. Good. I'm going to take my chair, release it back off the mat. Take it off the mat, I mean. And then come to your mountain pose. Oh, wow. Feel those hips. Take a moment. Standing in your Tadasana, I'm just going to take my blocks forward. I don't need them. Feet hip distance apart. Let's pick up the left knee and then hold it into our chest as much as we can. Notice I'm not doing this. So bend the standing right leg, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, and dorsiflex that left foot. See if you can find the place where you're from the crown of the head all the way down to the standing right leg. You've got this lift of the pelvis, so I'm not rounding. I'm standing tall, and you're here. Yeah, maybe it's the knee crease. Broadening in the chest, so the chest is open for 5 more. As I fall over for 4. So you really have the 4 points of the right foot active for 3, 2, good. And then release the left foot. 4 points of the left foot, rooting down, connect, right heel lifts, picking up that right leg. You've got it. Your hands can be where you need them to be. Notice my drishti, my neck is neutral. My drishti is to the tip of the nose. A lot of people are looking away from their nose up around the ceiling. That throws you off. You're meant to look at the tip of your nose. I think it took me about 20 years to get my drishti. Now I cannot help but to do drishti. So that means you're looking past the tip of the nose. You have a focal point. Like you're seeing something to stare at without moving, wavering. Blossom your bum, so stick your bum out, broaden the chest, and then only stand as tall as you can through the standing left leg, as you can keep your spine neutral without rounding it. Got it? For 5. For 4, you can even release your hands from the knee if you want. For 3, you do you. For 2, 4 points up the left foot or down, and then release that right leg, shake it out. Check it. Okay, let's forward fold. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, hinge hips, knees, forward fold, Uttanasana. Separate your feet hip distance apart, swagger your hips around, let your neck go. Love, 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 love. Hands root onto the mat, start to step your feet back into a downward shape. Good, so rework your hands onto the mat as wide as your mat. Bend your knees, blossom your bum, move your shoulders a little bit more forward so you're not full flexion of the arms. And then let's come up onto the left finger pads, lift the left leg up and circumvent that left leg around. Yeah, just like that. Full expression, and then release the left leg, reach the right leg up as you come up onto the right finger pads and move and groove that right leg around. Freedom, connection, Release the right leg, then slowly open your knees as you shift your shoulders over your wrist and draw your knees down. Plant or flex your feet, sit back onto your heels. You can take a bolster or a block if you need it to sink into a child's pose or just stacked hands. Breathe your breath. Be kind to yourself. Beautiful. There's nothing like just settling into your bones and being kinder to yourself. Allow that you sink deeper. And again, if you need that bolster for support and you put your cheek onto the bolster, that's awesome too. This may be our final pose of our 45 or so minute posture practice of mindful breathing, listening to the body. Come back to the mind's eye. Remember the paradigm shift. What consciousness are you wanting to, say, nourish? And take it into the subconscious mind, believing it, feeling it in your heart and your gut, saying it out loud, chanting it, feeling it, knowing it, switching paradigms, giving yourself a new program. I am worthy of financial gain to support my gifts and to share as a service person in this world. What is it that you're wanting to, is it love, a relationship? Is it freedom to be an artist? Whatever your paradigm shifting is for you. Old programs being released and new programs by just being conscious and then putting them in your subconscious mind. Like trust, believe it's your foundation. Take your time, feel the breath in your belly, sink your hips a little bit more. And again, if child's pose isn't for you, sorry, I failed to mention it earlier, you can always lay yourself back onto your backside, and Uttanasana is a great way to do another similar posture to child's pose, just Uttanasana. You do you. Let us be grateful for the awareness, the awakening, and let us celebrate what it is consciously that we like by hanging out with people, being a part of a kula, a connection, a community, being that person that wants to chant, I am free, I am light, I am love, and then start to find and connect with people like-minded so the chant gets bigger, brighter, and more boisterous. Like right now, no masking, no tyrancy, no shaming, all that stuff needs to go away, but it takes each one of you to quit tucking, and this is a judgment, because I do judge, I am human, your tail behind your leg and thinking someone else is going to stand up for you. You got to stand up for yourself. Okay? Everybody has to stand and think that. No to masks, no to vaccines, no to the BS. Okay? Who trusts? I trust my spiritual kula group community. I trust the people that come to yoga class, not my government. I don't trust that. I trust you, so let us all stand, okay? That is an observation. That is a discernment. So as we end this last bit of our yoga practice, I'm going to invite everyone to find their way into a cross-legged seated position, whichever way that may mean for you. And I will rant at times, I am human. So let us all stand. Let us stand each individual standing in the chant of I am love, I am sovereign, I am beautiful, love is peace. If I want peace in the world, I could chant peace, 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 but if I'm the only one chanting peace, well, it ain't gonna happen. We need the whole world to chant peace. So you are it, you're the point the universe is making. I am the other you. Let my be a reflection of optimism, positively being loving and support, and moving through the vessel with love and kindness each day, slowing down and loving yourself so that you can chant consciously and subconsciously, I am peace. And you'll see that it is happening because you are. But if you're not chanting peace and you're chanting more, then that's what you get. Chant peace. So let's end this practice with our hands in our heart center. Chant the sound of Om, which is consciousness, which is love. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Deep breath in. Shanti, shanti, shanti. May you be the peace that you intend to see in the world by being the peace yourself. Love, 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 love. Any questions, any concerns, don't hesitate to email me. And if you do have problems logging in, always check first, upper, lower casing. Save your password somewhere, save your username somewhere. Most people that are having issues logging in are on their side. Just saying. We have had a couple of hiccups, and I thank you so much with my developer and the behind the scenes. The platforms are growing and changing exponentially in the big world. So it's like a lot of work behind cleansing and clearing. So we do rectify within a day or two. There's only two of us, myself, jack of all trades, master of just maybe loving myself. So just be patient and choose to practice every day, whether it be a mindful breath practice, 20-minute practice. And you don't have to turn on the videos to practice. You just have my voice in your head. Spread your toes, breathe into the diaphragm. Om. Okay, I'll see you in the next episodes. And please don't hesitate to send any questions if you want something online that you'd like me to do for you. Maybe you're into doing some shoulder stands. I don't know. I've got you. Namaste, everybody.